Well, Fox's Greg Kelly was the first TV journalist into Iraq during the U.S. invasion, and he was embedded with U.S. troops that rolled in with the tanks that entered Iraq 7 years ago. He gave us incredible perspective, really, on what was going on the ground. Watch this.
What we're seeing now are a lot of these secondary explosions in these vehicles on either side of the road. They were destroyed by some of the tanks in front of us. Either their fuel tanks or munitions inside continue to explode as we pass by. But once again, this fight has been taken into the heart of Baghdad. We're not on the outskirts. We're not in greater Baghdad. This is it. This is Baghdad. This is what these guys came here for. We'll be here for a while. Military vehicles on either side of the convoy. You can see smoke scattered about the horizon. We've seen military vehicles. We've also seen a lot of civilian white pickup trucks come at us almost on suicide missions. Fire returned by Bradley fighting vehicles as well as tanks. Now, some of these vehicles have come out.
Greg Kelly is now the co-anchor of Good Day New York for WNYW and Fox 5, and we are so glad to have you with us on this really important day and this whole story. Greg, welcome.
Martha, thank you. It's wild to hear those that sound again. I remember saying we'll be here for a while. I remember that moment very well, because I did not know if we were on the verge of wrapping up the war. Some of us felt that way for a little bit, but there was also this lingering sense that we could be there for months, if not years. And I wasn't alone, by the way. Mal James, my photographer, took all of those images, still works for Fox. We still keep in touch from time to time, and the engineer Ben as well. So I had a great crew with me.
You know, when we watch these videos today of some of the men and women coming home, and we saw this one soldier on a tank saying, "We brought democracy to Iraq, we're going home." These guys and women have been there 3 and 4 times, some of them. Did you ever anticipate at that point that it would go on for this long?
I mean, when we left, the day we left, it was just before May 1st, 2003, when they declared major combat operations over officially. And I do remember getting on that plane and thinking, well, that's the end of that chapter. It's on to the rest of my life and other things. And Iraq is, behind us as a country. Now it goes into another phase. Did not really think I'd be brought back as many times as I was in 2003 and again in 2005. So, we really wanted it to be over, but of course it wasn't. And the soldiers that I was with, by the way, the 2nd Brigade Combat Team of the 3rd Infantry Division, they were amazing. They gave us incredible access to everything. I didn't expect that kind of access actually at the outset, but we saw and heard everything.
Yeah, it's incredible to look back and you think of the fall of Saddam Hussein and the statue coming tumbling down, all of those dramatic developments, and you wonder at this point, looking back, about the achievements, about what we'll see longer term. And President Bush always said, that history would judge the move to go into Iraq. Any thoughts on the future for that country, Greg?
Strategically, I'm not sure where we are. I don't think we can safely say that this has been, the Middle East has benefited or not benefited. I do think the president is right. It's for the history books to make that determination. There are signs of hope. There are also signs of huge problems that persist there. So at this point, I don't think we know. I really don't.
Greg, thank you so much. We're so glad that you could join us this morning, and I think it's so informative to look back at these videos and to remember how all of this began back in 2003. Thank you, Greg. Good
Martha,
to see you.
Martha, thank you. Nice to see you. Best to Bill.
Thank you, Greg. Good man there.